Happy Friday! It is Friday, March 19th. Actually, it's not. It's last week Sunday, and I record all 5 of these in one shot. And I have to tell you, I've been sitting at my table for like an hour, and my dog has not asked to go outside once. So we will see if we can have a record and not have her do it. It's a big challenge. We'll see. Okay, let's check. We are supposed to always put these in simplest form. You know this. So let's add. Oh, but I can't because the denominators don't match. And I can't do 3 times something to get 4. So that means I have to multiply each fraction by the opposite fraction's denominator. So I'm going to multiply this by 3 over 3 and this by 4 over 4. My new problem is that 5 stays the same. 3 times 3 is 9 and 4 times 3 is 12. And 1 times 4 is 4 and 3 times 4 is 12. So when we add 9 twelfths plus 4 twelfths, 9 plus 4 is 13 twelfths. And 5, I don't have another whole number to add. I'll just write my 5. Now we know we can't leave it like this because it wouldn't be proper. 13 twelfths, well 12 goes into 13 one time and there's 1 left over out of 12. So to get my final answer, I'm going to put those two together. 5 plus 1 is 6, and then we just have our 1/12. So 6 and 1/12 is what you should have for number 1. For number 2, it's the same numbers. I just have to subtract them. So I'm going to rewrite what I already wrote over there. 5 and 9 twelfths, but minus 4 twelfths. And this one's kind of nice. I don't have any whole number to subtract from the 5, so I'm going to write my 5. And 9 minus 4 is 5, and my denominator stays the same. It is just 5 and 5 twelfths. You're welcome. I know you didn't have to borrow. Isn't that nice? All right. Here I'm multiplying and I have a mixed number. Let's make that improper so we can multiply it. 4 times 5 is 20, and 20 plus 3 is 23 fourths times 1/3. Now, I don't have anything to cross simplify. So let's multiply across the top, which is 23, and multiply across the bottom, which is 12. I'm kind of bummed because I'm really wishing this was 24, because I know that 12 times 2 is 24, so I can't fit 2 12s in there. Just 1. And remember how I said 2 of them would be 24? Well, that means I'm 1 away from having it. So this numerator would be 11 twelfths. I just did 23 minus 12 to get that. 1 and 11 twelfths. Okay, some division. 1/12 divided by 7, I'm going to rewrite that as multiplication. I'm going to leave my 1/12 alone. I'm going to multiply that by 1/7. Why? Because I'll get the same answer as I would if I divided by 7 without drawing the picture. 1 times 1 is 1, and 12 times 7. Now, I know because when I was a kid, I had to memorize up to through 12s, not 10s, but you could do 10 times 7 is 70, and 2 times 7 is 14, and 14 plus 70 is 84, if you didn't know what 12 times 7 was. All right, 12 divided by 1/7, we switched around the order. You're not going to get this same thing, okay? So 12 times the reciprocal of 1/7 is 7, and we just said that 12 times 7 was 84. 2 different answers. The last one, 12 divided by 7. I could jump right to 12 over 7. Hopefully we're understanding that fractions are a little division problem, so this means 12 divided by 7. If not, this is the same thing as 12 times 1/7, which is 12 sevenths. But let's not leave it like that because it's not proper. 7 goes into 12 once. And I know that 7 plus 5 is 12, and my denominator doesn't change. So 1 and 5/7. All right, couple of math stories here. Millie still hasn't asked to go outside. There's only 3 left. I wonder if we're going to set a record. On Delaney's MP3 player, 5/6 of the 4 hours of music is rock and hip hop. How many hours of rock and hip hop does Delaney have on her MP3 player? Write and solve an equation. All right, so hang on. I'm going into low power mode. Hopefully nothing gets messed up here. It's really a time crunch here. Okay, so if I want to take 5/6 of the 4 hours, yeah, that means multiplication. I am taking part of a whole. When you take part of a whole, that's multiplication. So 5/6 times 4, or 4 times 5/6, totally doesn't matter. I'm going to pop a 1 underneath that and cross simplify it. I know 4 doesn't go into 6, but 2 goes into both of those. 2 goes into 4 twice, 2 goes into 6 3 times. 5 times 2 is 10, 3 times 1 is 3, And now we're gonna make this a mixed number. 3 goes into 10, 3 times. So 3 times 3 is 9, and there's 1 left out of 3. So how many hours? 3 1/3 hours. That's most of the 4, isn't it? That must be her favorite kind of music. Okay, Kylie worked 40 hours this week. Chris worked 3/4 as many hours as Kylie. How many hours did Chris work? Now this is one we're asking yourself, did Chris work more or less than Kylie would help? Okay, by the way, this is my sister-in-law and her husband, that's their names. I'm getting creative with my names. So if Kylie worked 40 hours and Chris worked 3/4 as many as Kylie, 3/4 is less than 1, right? That means that Kylie worked more than Chris because Chris didn't even work 1 times the 40. So what do you do with 40 and 3/4 to get an amount that's less than what you start with? Yeah, we multiply because we have learned and we have discussed over and over. I'm so sure you're sick of hearing it. That when you multiply by something less than 1, you get something less than what you start with because you don't even have it 1 time. All right, so let's do 40 times 3/4. I'm gonna put a 1 underneath the 40. I can definitely cross simplify this 40 and the 4. 4 goes into both. 4 goes into 4 once. 4 goes into 40 10 times. And 10 times 3 is 30. 1 times 1 is 1. And 30 hours. That is how many hours that Chris worked. Last problem. Tyree has 1/4 of a cake left over from his birthday party. He shared the cake between himself and 2 friends. Now just saying, if he shared it between himself and 2 friends, that's 3 people, okay? What fraction of the whole cake did each person eat? So he shared 1/4 of a cake between 3 people. That means he's dividing up this 1/4 of a cake between 3 people. This is division. And what do we start with? The cake. That's what we're sharing. Start with what you're sharing. Divide it by how many people you're sharing with. And this wouldn't be 2, it would be 3 because he's gonna have some cake too. Okay, he wants to have his cake and eat it too. So leave your 1/4 alone, and we are gonna multiply that by the reciprocal of 3, which is 1/3. And each person would get 1/12 of the cake. And you are done, my friends. And we set a record because Millie didn't ask to go outside 1 time. I'm so proud of her and you. Have a great rest of your day.